Today we're looking at submissions from bad positions, meaning submissions you can get when you're mounted, submissions you can get when you're in a submission yourself, etc. Although the common saying a position before submission is true, why limit yourself and not have tools available from everywhere? Let's get started with the Nogi Ezekiel from bottom mount. I hit this a couple months ago on someone I consider to be a very good and tough black belt, which was proof enough for me that this is a legit technique. Not to mention that Alexei Olenek even has multiple Nogi Ezekiel finishes from bottom mount in the UFC. Let's look at how to perform a Nogi Ezekiel in general, and then we'll look at specifically what to keep in mind when attempting one from bottom mount. A Nogi Ezekiel looks very similar to a rear naked choke, except from the front rather than the back, and the finishing mechanics are just slightly different. For a Nogi Ezekiel, you squeeze with the arm that is wrapped around the head, similar to a crossface. You bring your bicep and forearm together with a scissoring motion. You need to get a good choke bite by positioning the pivot point as close to the neck as possible, rather than leaving a gap. The same is true for any choke. Your second arm slides underneath the chin as you grab your bicep. Grabbing your bicep like this makes it harder for your opponent to fight your hands. From here, I'll either slide my hand flat or make a fist. If you make a fist, you use the side of your fist, like a hammer fist. You can use your knuckles, but this makes it more of a punch choke rather than a Nogi Ezekiel, which I personally don't like as much, as I find it easier for the opponent to fight the hands, because the hand isn't quite hidden like it is when you use the side of your fist or your palm. But the punch choke still is a pretty cool submission. I especially like it from the triangle. Anyways, regardless of whether you use your fist or the flat of your hand, you want to press down with it into the soft part of their neck, which is right here, where the carotid artery is located. And I know I always pronounce carotid wrong, but it is what it is. Don't press down here on the trachea, because if you do, you're probably going to hurt your training partner, even potentially injure them. Some people like to position their second arm deep all the way underneath their armpit, but I don't have the arm length for that, so I haven't been able to find success with it. You can do the Nogi Ezekiel from multiple positions, and when it comes to doing so from bottom mounts, there are some things that you should keep in mind. There is risk when you raise your arms away from your body. Generally, your arms will be safer down low with your elbows tight to your body, rather than raising them up, where you're susceptible to submissions such as arm bars. Now, when I would go for this is when my arm is already jacked up, separated from my body. Sometimes this happens. Your opponent gets an underhook on you and jacks up your arm. You can work to get your arm back to your body, or you can say, I'm already here, let's go for it. Also, to get that arm in position, you'll often have to swim your arm into the inside to get it above the crossface arm, if they have a crossface. Next up, we've got the ankle lock from the back. When I was a white belt, I was on the receiving end of this, and it was probably the most physically painful way I've ever been submitted. It's not inherently wrong to cross your ankles on the back. I do so often, but it can be very risky, especially when they're crossed low and in the middle. It's pretty simple really. If you see your opponent's feet crossed in the middle and low enough for you to reach, you can then figure four your legs and drive forward with your hips. It's unlikely to be a good idea to physically cross them yourself, as that may leave your neck exposed and vulnerable, but it is a good opportunistic submission if it's available. It's also possible to hit this ankle lock when your opponent has a body triangle on you. You can do so when the figure four is locked up on the mat side. You simply catch their foot between your hamstring and calf, and again drive your hips forward. This is normally more effective when your opponent has more of a shallow figure four than a deep figure four. This one is pretty simple, but maybe not the highest percentage. All you need to do is position the backtaker's arm beside your head and use your upper chest as a fulcrum, and then press down on their wrist. If you're anything like me, then one of your biggest goals this year is to work on your health, which is why I started drinking AG1. AG1 is a research-backed daily health drink that combines a multivitamin, probiotic, and blend of superfoods into one scoop. It contains 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. In short, it's a comprehensive nutrition supplement that provides nutrients to support body, brain, and gut health, with benefits to your immune system, energy levels, and more. For example, I've been suffering from gut issues for a couple of years now, and I really do find that AG1 has helped my symptoms. I even brought their travel packs with me to Mexico when I was on vacation because I didn't want to miss a day of AG1. It really brings me peace of mind knowing that I'm getting comprehensive nutrition to support my busy lifestyle. Which is why I really think that you should try AG1 for yourself. It's something that helps me prioritize my health. And that's why I'm so excited that I partnered with AG1. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/JTJ to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/JTJ to start the new year on a healthier note. Alright, now is the Von Flue Choke. I'm in love with the Von Flue Choke. It's a very satisfying choke to put on someone. If your opponent manages to secure a guillotine grip on you, you can counter them with the Von Flue Choke. This is most commonly available when your opponent holds onto your neck despite you passing their guard, when you have them in side control. It's easiest to finish a guillotine when you have your legs to assist you. Which is why when you're in a guillotine, a common and effective strategy is to clear the legs and pass the guard. Most people will just let go if this happens because of the risk of the Von Flue Choke. And in fact, it'd be very difficult to finish, if not near impossible to finish from this position without your legs to assist you. If you clear their legs and they don't let go, you can then connect your arms together so they can't pull it out. You need to trap their hand so they can't easily pull their arm out and relieve themselves from the threat of the Von Flue. You need a good choke bite for the Von Flue, just like a Nogi Ezekiel, or again, any choke, meaning you want to get your bicep as close to the neck as possible so that there's no gap. Often I'll wiggle my hand like this to progressively get it deeper and deeper. Getting off your knees and onto your feet will enable you to drive more weight into their neck. You just don't want to create too much space where it's easy for them to regard. But focus on driving as much as your weight as possible on their neck, right here on the soft part of their neck. The Von Flue Choke is only available from the arm out guillotine, not the arm in guillotine. If you're in an arm in guillotine and want to do the Von Flue, you first have to free your arm, so you can use it to get a hold of the neck. The Von Flue Choke is most commonly available when you pass the guard, but it is available from closed guard as well. I mean, just ask Ryan Hall. The Buggy Choke and Triangle Choke are both available from bottom side control. However, I have zero experience with Buggy Chokes and very little with triangles from here, so I don't have any insight to offer. I simply just wanted to include them so that you know that they exist and can check them out on your own. Next, we have the toe hold off the Omoplata. With an Omoplata, you want to drive the shoulder down to the mat to pin it and secure the finish. When you're getting Omoplata, you don't want your shoulder to be pinned. If you can keep your shoulder off the mat and postured up, you may be able to hit this sneaky toe hold. Simply just bend the foot like you would for a regular toe hold. This guy even got it in a tournament. Last but not least is the shoulder lock from when you're in bottom half guard and your opponent locks up a Kimura on you. I'm not sure what exactly to call this, but what you do is posture up as you pull their wrist up and then rotate your body, which rotates their arm. You can also lock up a Kimura from here for yourself. To do so, you want to posture up and get their elbow in front of your chest. You simply switch elbow positioning so that their elbow is in front of your chest instead of your elbow in front of their chest, which switches who has the Kimura. Here's a couple clips of me doing so. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know what you want to see next, and thank you for sticking around until the end of the video. If you're still here, please leave a comment or a fist bump, and I'll see you guys next time.